today's video is an updated Q&A on Canada in general, Saskatchewan, all of that. So stay tuned, guys. You don't want to miss any info. Bonjour lovelies, I hope that everybody is doing great. If you are new, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel. For my returning babies, I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget, guys, to turn your post notification bell on, drop a like on the video, and mark your names present in the comment section down below. So the first question, guys, the cost for daycare and the difficulty to get in. Based on speaking with other persons, they said that it is not easy to get into daycare and it can take up to 2 years. Have different daycare depending on your location, so like in the north, in the south, etc. So you have to call to add your name to the list, and then they say it can go up to 2 years, but sometimes you do get through before that. The cost can range anywhere between $620 to $850 per month for daycare, and you do get a subsidy of $315 to $570 depending on the age of the child or how many children you have. In order to qualify for the subsidy, you have to be enrolled in education or have special needs. Saskatchewan is coming up with something new where you pay $10 per day for daycare, so you know that daycare will be extremely full. But also, I was told that for teachers, there's a possibility that you can use the daycare on campus for girls who may get pregnant early, just so that they can go back to school if they don't have anybody to keep their baby. So if it's there for the students, then usually teachers can benefit. What's the settling and rental situation like? Any agencies or contacts for persons coming from Jamaica to transition easily? Cost for renting areas close to the university? So this is a lot of questions in one. You do have agencies that assist with settling. In fact, there is an agency where if you just come to Canada, to Canada, and you have not found a job, you can contact them. I'm not sure if it would be like in every province. They will help you to find housing. Depending on how much you work, you pay a percentage. I believe it is 40% of your salary that you will pay for the housing. But if you just came here and you don't have any job, then you don't have a 40% to pay. So they would give you a percentage and you will pay it. Usually not expensive because you don't have job, you don't have money, right? But if you see where your 40% is beneficial, say for example you want a 5-bedroom and you realize that 40% of your pay covers that really well, then you can use the service. If you realize that 40% of your pay is too much and you can find a house cheaper, then use that service. You don't have to use them. You just find your house on your own and rent it. You do have different types of housing that you can find. Students usually closest to the university would be in the south. Regina is kind of like, it's small, so it doesn't really matter where you live. Like, it's basically probably the most it will take you on the bus is like an hour and little to reach to the school. So like for me, it would take 15 minutes or less depending on the number bus that I take to go to school. It's a 30-minute walk, so it's not far, but persons usually just prefer to live near to school, and that would be the south. So as it relates to like the cost, the general cost is like, for a 1-bedroom house, it would range from, you can get a 1-bedroom house whether in a basement or apartment for like $500. If you are lucky, you can start at $450. But yeah, like $500, $600, and that would be like a studio setting. And the thing to note as well, guys, if you decide to live in a house like somebody's basement, just a house setup, the person probably pays somebody to shovel the snow, so you know that you have to split that bill. Or if the person decides to do it himself or herself, then you would have to assist. I'm not sure if you want to be shoveling snow in the snow, but it's something to consider. For apartments, it is usually covered. You just go to your apartment and that's it. You don't have to do all these fancy stuff. What is it like to buy or rent a car in Regina? And can you use your Jamaican license? You can use your Jamaican driver's license for as long as you are temporary. For persons who come as PR, I believe you have 3 months before you have to transition to the Saskatchewan license. But for as long as you're temporary, you just take your passport, your study permit or your work permit, your driver's license. So wherever you go on the road, whenever you're driving, you have to walk with those. And this does not apply to all countries. So please make sure that you do your research to find out if your country only allows it for 3 months or you can actually go beyond. Right, so as it relates to renting the car, guys, when we just came here, you know by this that we never knew anybody. So my husband had to get his Saskatchewan license because the job wanted him to get that license so that he could get insurance, some insurance related stuff. So we had to rent a car because we had no one to lend us. We paid about $300, probably a little less. I don't think it is more, to rent the car for the weekend. And guys, it was like one of those little cars that you could literally pick up and put in your pocket. I'm gonna see if I can insert a video.
Scare, pull up.
So we rented that car for the weekend, and it didn't require much. Literally just went to Google and searched car rentals near me, and it directed us to the nearest one. We went there and they just asked for your driver's license, and you pay preferably with a credit card. If you don't have a credit card, if you don't want to use a credit card, then you literally have to pay more money just in case anything happens. And that's it. You return the car at the time when they specify. So it's nothing hard to rent a car, but it is expensive if you ask me. So buying a car, so you have several options. You can, as a starter, a newcomer, a lot of persons will tell you that the cheapest thing is to go to Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace, you know, you name it. And you can get like a $2,000 car and get like a $3,000 car, but you have to know about cars to purchase these types of cars. So imagine me, I know nothing about cars. So you know, persons can have a lot of mileage, can be faulty and they don't tell you. So just make sure that you go with like a mechanic or somebody to test the car to see, okay, this is actually working. Or you can get the option of dealership. So you go to the dealership, as I explained in my other video, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm interested in this car, good, we're gonna give you a test run. So you drive it, drive it out, I like this car, it's smooth, nice, whatever, fits me, everything. And then they go back in to do the paperwork. So they ask you if you have a credit card. Yeah, you do a credit score check. Of course, depends on how long you've been in the country as well. They want to know that. They ask you, are you purchasing it cash or you want to do it on loan? So if you're purchasing it cash, of course, money up front, boom, bang, do the paperwork, it's yours. If you are deciding to do a loan system, then they will ask if your bank already approved, you contacted them, if you know the interest rate, yada yada yada. If you do, then you go with their service. If not, then they will tell you, okay, we have loan people and this is the interest rate, this is what you will pay monthly. Are you paying anything down on the car? Okay, good. No, this amount you will pay monthly, weekly, however you want to pay for the car. And that is it. You get the car and you go to any insurance place to purchase your license plate and to insure the car. Only thing is just that you need to have like your credit card, because credit card runs the country. What is the bus system like and the cost? The bus system is reliable, if you ask me. Just know that sometimes in the winter there can be a little delay. Sometimes I have to like leave out early enough to catch the bus before the bus you would usually catch. Understand? If you used to catch the 6 o'clock bus to go to work at 7, make sure that you catch the 5 o'clock bus and not the 6 o'clock bus, just so that if you miss the 5 o'clock bus, you can always catch the 6 o'clock bus. Yeah, I think the delay has been like up to 15 minutes. But it's relative. Persons will tell you that they have experienced something different. But for me, I've never experienced any delay longer than that. If the bus doesn't come, you can really count on one hand the amount of times you have miss the bus, which you can just hopefully have money to just call Uber that day. But it's reliable. It is reliable. And I think it starts at 5 to 11. And on Sundays, it stops at, I think, 6 p.m. So if you work outside of that, then that can be an issue. And we all know that the bus is expensive, guys. It is really expensive. For like students, you pay $88 per semester. I have 3 semesters. When my husband used to take the bus, he used to pay $88 per month. $88 per month. That's a lot of money. And if you have children under 13, do not pay on the bus. But over 13, I don't remember how much they pay. I'll just insert it on the screen. What the winter is like as a yardie. The winter is terrible. Like if you ask any Canadian, they will tell you the winter is horrible. Like Canadians actually leave the country during winter to go where it's warm. They said that it is impossible for them to get used to the weather. So do the maths as a yardie. Do the math as a yardie. Guys, the winter is horrible. And now I'm talking about Saskatchewan winter. I know that you have it better in certain parts of Canada. So not everywhere in Canada is like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. No. But in Regina, Saskatchewan, the winter is horrible, guys. Like this morning, we had to worship on Zoom. We could not go out. So imagine that. And you still have to go to work in these types of weather. I'm not gonna go around it. It's terrible. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, how is healthcare as a temporary resident? You already know that my next video will be promoting Regina, Saskatchewan. So I will be talking about the pros and the cons of living in Regina, Saskatchewan. But I'm just going to touch on it a little now to respond to this question. The healthcare is immediate, which means that as soon as you get here, you use your stamp that you would have received upon entry in the country, the bio page of your passport, your study permit, or your work permit. So you upload those to a portal and fill out, general questions, your address, your name, date of birth, stuff like that. And they will mail your health card to you within 6 weeks. And that's it. You find a family doctor, and whenever you're sick, you just go in. You don't pay anything monthly. You don't pay anything at all but your taxes. Okay? And of course, just with any school, whether in Jamaica or here, you do pay for health. So just so you can get this backup plan for like prescription drugs or dental, things that are not usually covered by the general health card. So the general health card, emergency surgeries, stuff like that. And you would upload this as well for your spouse, for your children, whomever you come with. You would put them, or you would apply for their health card, and it has an expiry date of a year. So every year you have to keep renewing your health card. But that is it. Immediate and free. You just pay your taxes, which is usually heavy, but that's for a different story. The cost for food per month on a budget. Guys, I think that this one is relative. Like, I don't know what to tell you, people. It depends on how much you eat and what you eat. But to be honest though, if you're on a budget, I would think that you're not gonna eat no oxtail, and you're not gonna eat no curry goat, and you're not gonna eat none of them. Then every Sunday you're gonna eat rice and peas. That is what I consider budget. So if you are on a budget and you are a single person, monthly you can survive on 3 bills for food. Yeah, $300 for food monthly can give you something nice. So if you find a nice meat shop them where reasonable, you can buy a good amount. You can buy a little pork and a little chicken and cut it up fine, and it's stretched for the month. And you buy in bulk. You buy a big bag rice, you buy the big pack flour, you buy as much sugar as you can buy, Yeah man, 300 can serve as a single person who is on a budget. It's heavy guys. Food not cheap. Food is not cheap. Yeah. The job market like for technical and non-technical jobs, part-time and full-time. So you do have part-time jobs, you do have full-time jobs, but most places want full-time. So when I just came here, it was so hard to get part-time jobs that I would feel comfortable doing. So you can get part-time jobs like McDonald's, you know, all those fast food places, Tim Hortons, all of those. But I didn't want those jobs. Nothing is wrong with those jobs. I just didn't want to stand on my feet that long. The jobs that I really wanted was like, you know, stay at home call centers, jobs that I have experience with, and jobs that would make me sit at some point. And them want full-time people, so they never work out. Jobs there, but it really depends on what you see yourself doing. Most people start with menial jobs. I'm not gonna really call a name because I don't want nobody misinterpret anything. But most persons really do have to start with those type of jobs with minimum wage, and the minimum wage is $13. So yeah, but you can get your big jobs. You can get your teacher jobs. You can get your telecommunications job. You can get your dental job. You can get your doctor job. Whatever it is, you can get. But it's just that when you just come, they kind of want you to have the experience here, unless you come from PR. They must say, all right, you're secular, you're in, you're rooted. You know, so it would be easier for you that way. But like when it is when you're temporary, I don't know if it just rings something that everyone said that person is nasty, you know, that person is nasty. I don't know. But jobs fling all about. It's just for you to do good in the interview. If you know, you know. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Have you experienced racism? It really depends on who you are as a person. Like, are you a person who really goes out your way to see racism or to experience racism? Because you do have those people. You do have people who, if you serve somebody of a particular color, then you're racist towards them. You do have people who just look for racism, or when racism not dead, if we are to be frank. But I've never personally experienced overt racism. So nobody has ever said like you're black and you no, I never experienced that yet. None of them, some of them I never experienced. I've never experienced it and I've never seen it. As it relates to covert racism, and that's the one way would I want to feel like in a day, but I am mine, that kind of racism there. So like when we just came, if we got a bus stop, I would say hello, nobody answers. Because we're different, we probably think it's racism. But it could very well be their culture. When we are walking on the road, sometimes people will just see you and them just draw brakes and drop it and make a shell and do the over this, you know, like them scan you. It could again be their culture. It could also be racism. I don't know. Depends on how you view it. Because some of them can be interpreted as racism, and it also can be interpreted as just so them stay. Yeah. But like for people come to you and say, oh, you're this and you're that, and I've never experienced that and I've never seen it. So, prospect of Regina or Saskatchewan developing. So I was discussing this earlier with my husband, and he says that he's seeing jobs are putting out to hire more people, and development in terms of house. You know, Regina is like farming, so you know, development is there as well.
Come to Regina, okay?
If the concerns of the city, and how about where you live? I live in the south, which is near to downtown, and the south is pretty safe. The part of Regina that they always say to avoid is north central. So if you come here, now live up this, so all when it's cheap, left it alone. But still, you know, when them frightened, they must say, oh, it's a bad area. You know, you think say kick off door and probably that take place, I don't know. But that's what they always say, guys. So just avoid it, you know, it not hurt. But where I live, it is safe. I live in a basement, well, not basement, but like the first floor of the apartment, which is kind of like a basement. So you can literally hit my window. And I've never seen anybody's window broken or anybody try to come in. But it's when I just come, guys, I used to afraid to see. Every day me I watch the window them. Every night before I come to bed, I watch the window them. Like nobody not coming for me. When we were renting the apartment, the guy said to us, avoid this area. When he showed us that house, we were like, we wanted upstairs because it's much safer. We don't want nobody broken public. The guy was like, where are you from? Like, he not say it, but the way I behave, like, ma'am, nobody not coming for you. I was so embarrassed because, you know, when we used to, people can break in and them look at something there, but them say not bored, me never experience it. The vehicle, me never seen nobody lose no vehicle yet nor nothing, but it does happen, but you just need to be careful. But and I like it rampant, like, oh my gosh, I forgot sleeping in my car, so a man not broken in my car. No, it's not that serious. But just look out your eye. You come from work or you come from school, look out your eye same way. In the city, which would mainly be downtown, you have some drunkie, like some people will drink and walk and cuss themselves and you really have to just be careful of those people because you don't know when them head can tell them to do. But them generally not gonna really do you hurt you like that. The most thing we do is stop you and ask you be foolishness. Or them try to talk to you.
Are you going across the road? You see the light?
And them come up with one big scenario. You're there like trying to be polite, like okay, and then now moving up. Can you tell me about UFR? That is University of Regina. What's life like there? Guys, I don't really have no school life. Even when I study back home in Jamaica, I am so not interested in anything at school. So, I really don't know. But they do have stuff like this celebration, that celebration, this party, that party, especially in the summer. But like in the winter, as I said, the winter is terrible. Who's gonna really keep anything in the winter? But if you live on campus, then there should be, you know, some little enjoyment here and there. But I really don't know, like I've never been to any. Like I just go to school, submit my assignment, go to class, and that is it for me. But sometimes we do receive emails that we're keeping this social, we're keeping this for this department, food available, all those of the stuff. Last one is, if not yardy there to be connected with.
Regina have yardy, bad to bad.
Only pa yardy there. Don't worry. We used to think we are the only yardy. Till we realize say we got Walmart and them place they only hear them attack. You say, yeah yardy? Yeah yardy? So yeah, you do have yardy. But with my personality though, I'm never the type to like seek connection, and that is what I want to talk about in my life. I'm not the type to say, yeah, Yadi, give me a number. No, that is not my personality. I don't go to my way to seek any either. That is just my personality. But I do hear that they have connections. Don't remember when and where, but like a particular time of the year, Jamaicans meet up on location for a little celebration. So at that time, you have the opportunity to exchange numbers and stuff like that. And usually if you say yeah, they ask them for your number, they might give them number, you know, just for link up or for help you around the place and stuff like that. Also, the Jamaican store, when we go there, the guy always tell us, you know, there's an event there, you know, say something I keep around this. So, or like if you do anything, if you're a carpenter, if you don't for paint, if you don't for the ear, you just leave him with a contact, and if somebody come in and inquire, him can tell about it. A lot of Jamaicans go there. So if you go there and you probably eavesdrop on ear, so I'm gonna manage this, so you know, you just exchange number and him can link up and a look at work and so. But for my personality, I just prefer to stay by myself. And so even if I do see a yardie, I'm like, hi. And you know, if the person is friendly, the person would be like, where in Jamaica are you from? I'm gonna tell them. That's not my personality. Forgive me, guys. But yeah, that is it for this video. Always feel free to drop your comments for the types of videos you want to see. When I see nobody request a video again, you have questions, I'll also build a video including them. So once more, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for always supporting me, whether through liking, watching, subscribing, sharing, commenting, whatever it is. I appreciate you all. Bye guys.